Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm all things sugar and shade Sade. Hey, and this is where I talk about the best bits of Love Island USA season 7. And today I'm talking about episode 24, what do they call it? The heart rate challenge. That's it. But before we get into it, please guys, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a video or a live, and also get involved in the comments. I want to know what you're thinking about things. Okay, let's get into it. So we start the episode basically the aftermath of the recoupling. Obviously, Orlandria and Taylor are no longer together. Orlandria is talking to Chelley and Cierra, and she basically says to them that the thought of starting over makes her sick to her stomach. Cierra is shocked, and Orlandria is ready to close that chapter, but I think she's finding it a bit difficult to how do I even go about making the first steps to do that. Tell her about the kiss that she shared with Nick, and Cierra, as I thought, took it really well. She took it like, she was just like, okay, cool. I understand. You needed to explore. I get it. You know, I'm glad it was you and not somebody else. And Orlandria reassures her and says, look, we did kiss, but there was no spark. So there's nothing to worry about in that respect. And, you know, Orlandria thanks her for being such a good sport about it. And yeah, Cierra's just like, well, I'm actually glad it was you rather than any of the other girls. And this is the thing. I suspect Cierra's weighed up very quickly what Orlandria is going through at the moment and realizes that there's nothing between her and Nick, so there's nothing to really worry about. So there's no point kind of really going in on this. However, I do think that she has a way of repressing her true feelings very, very, very quickly. So I don't even know if Cierra knows how she feels about things at the moment. We also see Ace and Chelley reconnect. Ace is curious about Chris and what's going on there. Obviously, Chelley picked Ace in the recoupling, but Huda picked Chris. So Chris is in the villa. And, you know, Chelley's just like, you know what? You guys are actually really similar. Ace did not like that comment at all. He didn't like that. He even says, there's no one like me. I get to know Chelley. But Chelley tries to explain that, you know, she does have a connection with Chris, but it's not the same as the connection that she has with Ace. She was just like, only playing, you're not similar at all. There's only one of you, or something like that. And Ace, he does say he's prepared to go to war. But I don't know, it just makes me think, because we see him later talking to Taylor and he kind of says a similar type of thing, that he can't lose, he won't lose. And it's like, are you really into Chelley like this, or you just don't want to lose out to this guy? You know, is it the competition that's fueling you? I don't know. Because it seems like Ace is a bit confused. So when he's talking to Taylor and Nick, he does say, like, look, I don't really know why that's still a thing. He doesn't really get it. He's just like, well, you know, if she's into me, why is Chris still here? Like, he doesn't have a problem with Chris being in the villa, but he doesn't understand why she's not fully 100% into him. And I think it's really simple. Like, you're not closed off, so she needs to keep her options open. It's exactly the same thing she was doing with Austin, to be honest. But I feel like Chris definitely has more of a chance, and it's more realistic, and he's more of a threat to the Ace and Chelley situation. And I feel like he knows that she wants to be closed off. And he was just like, well, I don't actually want to just do it. I don't want to pull that move. And I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe I don't like the way it was worded, but he's so strategic with it. And I'm just like, if you like the girl, just take a risk and go all in, you know? Like, you have to take the risk, but he doesn't want to. He really doesn't. He's just like, oh, I don't want to do this because she's got this other thing here. Kind of too worried about what other people may think, I think, personally. And, you know, Ace should be worried because Chris ain't letting up at all. Although he is talking to Huda as well, you can definitely see a difference in the way that he talks to Huda and the way that he talks to Chelley. And Chelley's just a more kind of laid back girl anyway, but you know, he ain't letting up. He was just like, nothing's gonna stop me. I can see how strong your bond is with Ace, but nothing's gonna stop me from talking to you. He even tells her that he's gonna remix Stevie Wonder's song called My Sherry and put her name in it or something. The one that goes, I think it's My Sherry or more. Da, 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 da. I can't remember the words, but yeah, I thought that was kind of sweet. It would be nice if he sang for him to sing it then. That would have been very cute. But, you know, she's smiling. She's buying it, you know. And, you know, Chris, he does the manly thing. He pulls Ace for a chat, just like Clarke pulled Olandria. And we saw the outcome there. But no, I didn't even know that was going to happen. But he pulled Ace for a chat. And as they're walking away, Ace does this pretend like, what did he do? He done like a little wrestling move, like he could drop him. Come on, don't be silly. He's literally twice your height and probably twice your strength as well. So they're walking together to go sit down and chat, and you could just see he just looks like his big brother, his dad. Like he's, oh God. That was a painful visual. I'm not gonna lie. That was a painful visual, seeing that big height difference. Basically, Chris was just like, look, I don't like awkwardness. I'm not like a jealous guy or anything like that. He said it's not a dick swinging competition. You know, it's fair game. And Ace is just like, yeah. You know, I like Chelley a lot. And he's just like, yeah, I've got no issues with you, my boy. Like, you know, it is what it is. It's fair game. I'm going to still get into chat to her. You do your thing. I'll do my thing. And I got to respect it. I can't lie. I was just like, yeah, that's how you handle your business. Because I don't think Ace is the king of the villa anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like with these new guys that come in, like Ace is more like class clown. So he's popular. You're not necessarily the most serious one in there no more. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't think he's running anything anymore. Did I already say this episode was long? Because it was friggin' long and I'm sick of it. Half of these couples need to go. There's way too many people in the villa. There's like, was it 12, 10? I can't remember. There's a lot of people. I've had enough. So who's in the villa now is Olandria and Ilan. They're both the single ones. We've got Amaya and Zach, Andrina and Brian, Gracelyn and Pepe. We've got Iris and TJ. We've got Jaden and Austin, Huda and Chris, Chelley and Ace, Clarke and Taylor, and Cierra and Nic. Way too many people. Get rid of half of them. Like, I've had enough. Who can go? TJ and Iris can go. Gracelyn, Pepe might need to stay because Andrina had made it clear to Brian that she likes Pepe. So that might be her next move. So maybe they can stay. Who else can go? I think Huda can go. Keep Chris, but Huda can go. I think Clarke and Taylor, they can go. Oh my God. It's got what you wanted now. Get out of it. Go away. Stop wasting people's time. Who else? Did I say Jaden and Austin? They can go as well. And I have to mention Amaya. She's getting on well with Zach. She's doing a little too much. Yeah. And I think Zach is a little bit overwhelmed, but it's okay. Do you know what I mean? Because we like Amaya. She brings such joy to the friggin' villa. Like, watch this.
It's an amazing day. I'm back home and I'm here to stay. Ain't nobody gonna take me away.
How can you not like this girl? I swear to God, how can you not like her? Oh, I don't care who she's with. Amaya Papaya for the win. Honestly, like, she's the best. Even in this, the next thing she done was actually go and kiss the ground. Like, she's just too freaking funny, man. Honestly, I want nothing but the best for this girl. So going back to Cierra, she also had a conversation with Nic, and Nic basically told her about the things with Olandria from his point of view. And he was saying in his confessionals that his blood pressure felt like really, really high, and he feels much more relaxed that now he's able to have that conversation. And he just reassured Cierra that there was definitely nothing there. And he didn't say he was closed off, but he definitely was just like, he doesn't want any more tests anymore. And Sarah was like, but you love a test, like you do. And she called it. She knew he would be exploring things. She did say she was glad it was with Olandria again as well. Her mind didn't really change until she spoke to Iris. So when she was talking to Iris Iris didn't know about the whole Orlando thing, and it took her by surprise. And Iris asked her, like, how do you feel about that? And, you know, Sierra's giving her answer like, no, it's fine and everything like that. And Iris is just like, well, yeah, okay, it's cool that you're cool, but that is kind of crazy. Honestly, I agree. And I know people don't want to hear this from Iris. I get it. I understand where that's coming from. But fundamentally, if that is in the villa, you know, everybody is close friends, like instantly. But if that is your friend and also someone that you've had a bond with from since you kind of come into the villa, you're not expecting them to kiss your guy, especially when you thought they left the villa in the first place. And Iris did point out, like, look, you had relations. You had relations with him, and then the next day or the next couple of days, your best friend is kissing him. Like, in what world is that okay? So yeah, I understand the concern and I understand the inquiry, because I think that Sierra seriously has a tendency to downplay her actual emotions. I don't think she's dealing with it. I think she's too much thinking about, okay, how should I be acting in this situation? What is the best way to respond than actually what she's actually feeling? And I feel like she's also the cool girl, you know? So, oh, these things don't bother me. Well, secretly they do. And if you don't address them, that will add up over time. But, you know, she doesn't want to confront it. She's just like, oh, I wasn't even thinking about it like that, Iris. Like, you're putting these thoughts into my head. So, yeah, she's going to have to deal with that one or let it go. To be honest, I don't think there's a threat of Orlando and Nick kind of getting back together. But if you feel a bit violated, if you feel a bit disrespected, then you should say so. Do you know what I mean? Just so you can patch it up, rather than pretending that everything is okay. That being said, I do understand also, because two things can be true at the same time, that, you know, that pretending or that kind of repression of the feeling is a form of protection as well, so you don't get hurt. Like, I do understand that too. But yeah, how this conversation even started, because their beds are now closer together, and Sierra was letting Iris know that she had a full course meal with Nick, and it ended at a waterfall, which is code for they got it on. They really did. But Nick, I think he was telling Ace and Taylor that it only lasted 40 seconds this time, so up from 25, and he was just like, oh, it's not the best performance. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe Nick can't perform under pressure, you know? Maybe that's it. Also, just to know, Taylor and Clarke are fine. They're bonding. It's kind of cute, but I don't like them right now. So whatever. So then it was a heart rate challenge. There was a hell of a lot going on. I'm not going to lie. There really, really, really was. They done it in couples, which is a bit different. I don't know how you measure that exactly. I think it's kind of cheating. It's an interesting twist. Maybe they had to do in couples as well, because there's so many freaking people. There was way too many people to do this challenge as well. I feel like their costumes in their couples should have matched. I think it was only, and I might even be wrong, Nick and Sierra who's matched, because she was a cowgirl. I thought he was a cowboy. I don't know. But I don't think any of the rest of them match. Like, what's his name? TJ was a doctor and Iris was a dog. That I felt was hella weird. A sexy dog. I don't know. I don't know. What do I know? Oh, maybe he was a vet. Was he a doctor? Oh, I guess vets are doctors. I don't know. I just thought it was odd. So basically, they had to sexy dance on everybody, kiss a couple of people, raise their heart rate as much as possible, and then they'll have a finale kind of bit where they pull one person or two people to dance on the little podium. So that was the general formula. And people were touching and licking and sucking and kissing and doing a lot to get the heart rates off. I will say this about this group, yeah, they're fully going in. The spirit of competition is overriding everything, because we had people like Nick sucking toes. I think he was sucking Orlando's toes. Nick and Sierra both brought on Chelley to the podium, was licking her feet and then lips in her like in a freeway kiss. That wasn't the only freeway kiss. Chelley and Ace, they brought a Maya for their like finale piece. I think he done some cheesy line like, oh, what are you saying, babe? Or something like that kind of thing to play on that. And they had a freeway kiss with her. Ace and Chelley's kiss with Amaya was so intense. Amaya's shoes came off. Like it was a lot. And in the confessional, Amaya was just like, you ain't got boundaries now. I love that girl. I love that girl. But yeah, apart from it, I was just like, oh, it's a bit hot. And Drina and Pepe, oh, she went in. She was like, Gracelyn who? She did not care. Like, nothing. Not one little bit she didn't care. She went in on Pepe. Lots of the girls were kissing Cierra. I think Amaya kissed her. Maybe Jaden. Who else? Orlandria. That was surprising. I feel like that was outside Orlandria's comfort zone. Orlandria and Elon, they were obviously paired together and they done their routine. Brian's whole head was inside Orlandria's butt. His whole head was there. And he enjoyed every second of that. He really, really did. Yeah, Orlandria she really went for it. She really did. But in their finale, they both brought up the people that they've been jilted by. So Elan brought Cierra, which Nick was not happy about at all. And I think he said some cheesy line about, you're going to have to watch this now or something like that. Nick, he actually, he's like cheerful, happy-go-lucky. He looked mad. And the fact that they look alike, they look like brothers, it was just like, you're mad at your bro. They need to do a DNA test because they could actually be related. Orlandria obviously brought Taylor, and yeah, she went in. She was riding and kissing and doing all sorts. She went absolutely in on him, and Elan went in on Cierra. Clarke with the Taylor Orlandria situation, she weren't too happy, but she was just like, it is a challenge, but I'm not trying to see all that, which I totally understand, especially when it's like new in your relationship as well. So then when they went last, Taylor went to Orlandria first and just kind of kept it like PC because he didn't want to upset Clarke, which is fair dues to the guy, to be honest. And also, he don't like Orlandria like that. I need Orlandria to stop now. That has to be the last gesture. That has to be the last thing that she puts herself out there that she likes this guy. I don't want to see none of that. No more. It's done. That's it. So Huda obviously was with Chris. Yeah, Huda was kind of doing the most. So with Chris, she done this, what do you even call it? Did she kind of flip into it? A couple of the girls were doing flips and splits and all that kind of thing, and she done that thing where she's like lying on her back, her legs are in the air, and she's clapping, the cheeks are clapping, but she's doing that kind of on Chris where he's seated. Yeah, it's a skill that I do not possess. It's a skill. But yeah, she's not beating those dancer charges at all. She really isn't. But yeah, good on her. I mean, it's talent. It's talented, but she took those talents a little bit too far, in Chelley's opinion. In their finale, she bought Ace and Chris bought Chelley. Makes sense, right? But Huda was going in. She was bouncing, grinding, looking back at it, deeply kissing Ace. Deeply kissing Ace. Hey, so much so, and it was going on for so long that Chris and Chelley had finished doing what they're doing, and these two were still going. Ace weren't saying no, though, because this is Ace's dream. I'm telling you, from the beginning, this was his plan. He wanted Huda. He absolutely wanted Huda. So now he's just like, well, then they've gone to sit back down. Ace is like trying to hide, like looking, him and Taylor trying not to look at each other because they're going to burst out laughing and stuff. Chelley did not find it funny at all. She was just like, you're doing the most. You're doing way too much. But she was kind of thinking that to herself. And then Huda's looked over and just like, girl, you mad? And she's just like, I'll talk to you later. Chelley don't even get mad like that. She was mad. Even Pepe remarked on it. Someone else remarked on it. I think Nick did as well. Like, a lot of people were just like, okay, that's intense. So for the girls, here's the results. Iris's heart went for Nick, Amaya for Pepe, and Drina for Pepe, Jaden for Nick, No surprises there, actually. Chelley for Chris. You know I wanted that result. Seriously. Huda for Elan. Random. Even she was just like, what? Like, she didn't understand that either. Gracelyn for Nic. Cierra for Elan. Oh my God. Oh my God. Olandria for Chris. Clarke went for Ace, which has got to pain Taylor for sure. And then for the guys, their results were TJ went for Gracelyn, Zach for Cierra, Brian for Cierra, Austin for Amaya, which made me laugh. I thought you didn't like the girl. You want peace, though. You want peace. Chris for Chelley. Of course, it makes sense. It makes sense, you know. And Chelley was trying to explain her part away, like, oh, you know, because he put me in the air and blah, blah, blah. You just like him. Just stop it. Just stop it. Pepe's was for Andrina. I'm just like, yes, girl, go and get your man. Go and get him. For Nic, it was Iris. And for Elan, it was Cierra. I mean, the heart don't lie. It's not lying, is it? For Taylor, it was Olandria, and for Ace, it was Huda. Chelley was not happy about that last result at all. Well, at that point, anyway, she had no words for how Huda was behaving there. So then they get a text, and the overall couple winners who raised people's heart rate the most was Cierra and Nic, which kind of makes sense because they are probably the most sexual couple in there. So makes sense. So after this, obviously they disperse and they go into their groups. Chelley is with Olandria, Cierra, and Iris. I can't lie. Iris looked like she didn't want to be there. She looked like she was bored of this conversation. Like, why have you paired me here? I don't want to be here. She was looking at diversity hire. I'm not even joking. Like, it was just like, why am I here? Chelley was basically complaining about Huda and just saying, like, look how you was going on about boundaries with Jeremiah and you done that. Like, it was just too much. Like, why are you going so deep? Chelley also said that she felt uncomfortable when Huda picked Chris because obviously they have a connection. But Huda was just like, no, I'm picking him for you. And she's just like, you're not picking him for me. You're doing it for yourself. So as I was saying, I knew there was some sort of conversation. I can't lie. I thought Chelley was more on board with it, but there was definitely a conversation, and that was a strategic move to get Chris in the villa. Huda is having a similar conversation with Andrina and Amaya. Andrina and Amaya are literally just listening to her. They're not really saying anything because I don't think they agree with her. But Huda was just like, I think Chelley is mad at me. I think she's mad because, you know, I was doing my thing. You know, you got to do your thing and, you know, you got to perform. You got to get the heart rate up. You know, she was trying to justify what she done. And she's just like, I love her, you know, so I don't really want her to be mad. And she also said, like, I think it was like, because his heart rate went for me the most, that's what got her. And then she kind of smiled at that moment. And it's just like, Huda, babe, you're not gonna beat the charges if you do things like that. You're really not. You're absolutely not. Then at one point she's in the kitchen and Drina goes down and tells the Chelley lot what Huda was saying, which sets Chelley off again, and she's just really annoyed about the whole thing. And I think Huda can overhear, so she knows that Chelley is absolutely upset with her. So that's got to resolve next episode. But my thing is just like, I don't know. Hear me out. I don't know if Chelley should be this mad at this situation. Is she this mad because she knows that Huda is a threat to her and Ace? Because Chelley, you were being picked up and thrown around basically by Chris several times in that challenge. And even when it was your turn, you already had danced on Chris or kissed him or whatever, and then you doubled back and went to him again. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like you might need to just relax. It is a challenge. Yes, Huda done the most, but also, where's your energy for Ace? He was receiving the most. He was a willing and active participant in the in the challenge with Huda. He absolutely was. So I feel like she needs to reduce the smoke a little bit. Maybe emotions are high. Maybe she's scared to lose out to Huda. I hear her in the sense of like, she was being hella territorial with Jeremiah and people respected it. So you should respect it back. But Chelley's got lots of options, so Huda likes Chelley's options too. Yeah, and I think the closing line is Huda saying, yeah, I fucked up. yeah, she's gonna have to be apologetic. She looked a bit teary as well. So we know we're gonna get some tears, and Chelley's just gonna have to manage that and not get upset, because otherwise she's gonna be seen as the aggressor, even though Huda is a problem. Okay, guys, that was the episode. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you watched it this far, you know I love you the most. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and join me for the lives that I'm going to be doing all this week from about 10:15 to 10:30, depending on when Love Island UK ends. I'll be going live straight after, and join in the conversation. Guys, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.